Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Ron, fellow Christians who are RPG, who play role-playing games. This is very important. This message is for us. This is really important. Please understand this. My ministry is to get you to bring your faith into the game, which is very important. You can't just keep playing 5e or other RPGs and just play them and have fun. No, we're done doing that. My point, and if you're playing them, that's fine. But I'm trying to hyperbole here, make a point that we have retreated our faith in the RPG culture to the point that pagans have taken over, and it's a gateway drug for them to preach paganism. There's so many games out now where you actually literally have to make spells and concoctions to fight the bad demon or god while summoning a good demon or god. That's paganism, and it's all made up. All the different demons and all these monster manuals and bestiaries and all. It's literally like paganism, just making up evil spirits that you got to deal with. And that's exactly what paganism was in medieval times and Dark Ages. They just made up evil spirits on every little corner of every little road or farm or weather pattern or forest path, and you had to give and do an offering to them so you would have safe passage, or it would have good crops or good weather. That's paganism, and today that's exactly what's happening. It's all over again. The emptiness that they have in their souls they're filling it with the spiritual world, and then trying to please that spiritual world to gain their material lusts and power and whatever. It's in the role-playing games now because we Christians have stepped back. And it is now teaching all the kids and the youth, which is where paganism is coming from today. And I hang out in medieval armored combat, Renaissance fairs. All of them are pagan. They're all playing Dungeons and Dragons or some version of that. And they're all pagan. They're all so cocky and confident and, arrogant, and like youth are. And just abusing and exploiting each other and trashy and whatever. I hope none of them are listening to what I'm saying now. And there's a few there, and I care. I'm very polite, very nice to everybody, and we do our fighting and events. I haven't been in a while since my stupid health stuff, but my stupid chronic gout thing, but that's getting better. I worked out yesterday, so for the first time in 6 months. But this is getting really bad, and I'm going to pop up some articles. So my game is for you to realize we can create a fun game. Totally every experience you have had in D&D, old D&D, you can have in this game. But I want to show you, here, let me just get to the articles here. Okay. All right, so this one's on Not to Be. I love Not to Be, kind of my first thing in the morning. Nigerian man tells friends to test out bulletproof magic potion, dies. That's what paganism is. They give you, the witches and the shamans and stuff give you love potions, bulletproof potion, fortune telling. They want to tell you something so you have a cheat, a life cheat. Everybody wants a life cheat because we're not getting fulfilled. We need a life cheat. And so this guy dies because he really thought the thing was a bulletproof potion. And then it goes on to say, look, man, this is happening really bad. There's 2 million today witches in America. That's huge, whatever, part-time or not. TikTok spell videos under hashtag witch talk have amassed 20 billion views after the pandemic. And this is, of course, TikTok run by the Chinese that throws all this, pollutes it here in America, and we seem to be accepting that. There's a ton of books, and I've done another video on this. There's a ton of books out there about witches and witchcraft, Modern Guide to Ancient Craft. That we live in a very intense dark age. Oh, I guess we're living in the dark ages again. Time to make a modern day dark ages for the little RPG. And everyone's looking for something, and they want something that helps them connect to something larger than themselves. Well, it's called Jesus Christ, the Bible, God. Okay, something that helps them feel like there's a purpose. Yeah, there is a purpose, and magic does that. Magic is a way to align with your purpose, your power. So it's a cheat. For paganism, they do magic, and the magic it's a life cheat. That's what they want. Love potion, whatever it is. It's a trick. They say here it's really pretty funny. In the words, Ancient power of human stupidity. The same ancient power that duped these stooges in Nigeria and got one of them killed. The moral of the story, sometimes magic is a stage trick. And that's what I've even read in the missionary stuff, that the pagan magicians were very much into shows, into pageantry. And when the Christian missionaries came, all the missionaries used was the word. That's all they used, and embarrassed and took out the pagans because they rebuked them. They told the people, this is a joke, this is a trick. They tested their magic and it totally failed. And the missionaries were consistent and persistent in pushing that, and the pagans faded out, or the magicians, the witches, and all that crap. They were still around. They were still always having that problem, and the missionaries always wrote that there was paganism all the time. The people were always going to church, and then they would drop off their little sacrifices at the little corner sacrificial offerings on the roads and farms and stuff. So paganism was never eradicated, but it was, pushed to the corners. But it's coming back now, popular, and that's what they're going to do. It's a whole grift. It's a con. It's a whatever. It's always a magic trick. So this is happening everywhere now. Kids are not getting the word of Jesus Christ and of the Bible and of the truth, and so they're making up truths, and that's what paganism is. It's about making up truth, which is then a lie. We're in the middle of a witch moment. Hip witchcraft is on the rise in the U.S. So I'm just following through with these articles and looking at the links, and I think I've read this before or something, but it's becoming very popular to be a witch. I've seen these people. I've seen their crafts. I go to the Ren fairs. They talk all about this stuff all the time. But this article, these are the books. This look like role-playing game books. I mean, the way the covers are and stuff. Look at it. It's just very appealing. It's becoming Netflix shows. I've already read this, but I don't even care. So here's another one. So, what museum in Minneapolis holds family-friendly event to summon a demon? Family-friendly event to summon a demon. Okay, so there's this article I read, and I followed through with that, and it brings it up more here at this site. If you want to look that up, I don't know. And this is the person, and she, happy dappy. She's a performing arts professor, just based on what I perused here. And I'm very familiar with this culture. I went to UCLA Fine Art, performing arts, fine art, painting. I was, a painter, art studio there, did performing art stuff, did classes on performing art. I remember it very well. But look at this white liberal people here, and they're naming demons, their emotional truths. And Lilith is her demon. And I know she has like a Jewish past or something, based on her Instagram. So Lilith is something in the Jewish Old Testament. She was like a demon, or I don't know what. But here's the artwork and I remember this too. She's a professor. She's being paid as a job, and then she's preaching all this demon summoning like it's your own personal to trap demons. So she's a witch. And I remember this too. I'm gonna go here with this. I remember how much waste we did as liberal artists. Industrial waste. We wasted so much materials in the studios. It was so dirty and filthy. And we used turpentine. We used all kinds of, all of this stuff requires in warehouses or factories of slave labor, because we always bought the cheapest materials. There's so much. Look at this waste. It just turns into junk after after the show is done. It's just constantly making wasteful stuff. I'm not against art, but there's no craft in here. There's no discipline. It's just junk in the end, and they need factories of oil and chemicals. And just for that one bucket, you need an entire factory to create that one bucket that they use in their art. And then, of course, they're going to go protest oil and factories, even though that's exactly what they're using all the time. Pagans. So, you Christians out there, you've got to, for the love of God, for the love of Christ, I'm just begging you to get. My game is about evangelism, Christianity in there, and I don't want to make money off this. I just want you to, whatever. If you want to be a content creator, If you want to be your own GM and you want to create your own content and just give me credit for the game, so people can come and get one place and get the game. And also, I want to do an Apostles' Creed kind of thing, where make sure we all have the same beliefs. And I'm a Reformed Christian, but you don't have to be Reformed Christian. Like if you don't believe in election, that's okay, But we can argue on that on another level in the game. That's fine with me. Evangelism, I want evangelism, planting churches. Getting people to convert and join the church. And it doesn't mean that everyone is 100% Christian in the story and the NPCs, but it means that they're willing to open up and listen to it. And then you plant the church and then move on. But you get to fight monsters and demon possessed, and you got your sword and your mace and you do blessings and prayers. Point being, we got to bring that back into RPGs, and we got to make it so comfortable amongst ourselves that we then start fanning out to the non-Christians to play these RPGs and prove that we have something, an awesome option. I want people like you, not me, because I'm done, but I want people like you to take this game, this setting to conventions and invite people to play and deal. And you can have, like, in your missionary group of players, you can have some hardcore missionaries and then some that are like, you're a hired mercenary, you're a hired bodyguard, you're a hired, handler or whatever. And so non-believers can, watch as the missionaries argue with the DM, who's the GM who plays the pagans in the evangelism part of the game, and try to convert them. And the non-believer can what's going, but that comes down the road. Right now, I need you guys as Christian RPG players to realize you got to give up this sense that, it's fun, let's just play. I just need to relax and play a game and not have my faith in it. I just need to play and get treasures and save people and be a hero, and that's it. No, we need to live and breathe our evangelism, and it's easy. And the time I do relax and watch shows, they're not necessarily Christian. So I'll give you that. I'm just sitting there zoning out to non-Christian shows on all those streaming services. So I'll give you that, because I have a membership to Pure Flakes and one or two others, Christian ones, but just can't watch that stuff. Just can't watch it, because it's not even evangelism either. It's all about self. It's all the shows they do are self-fulfillment, which is to me paganism. None of them are about evangelism. None of the shows on Pure Flakes and other Christian streaming services are about evangelism. About, they're all about themselves becoming better with God and closer to Christ. Which, get over yourselves. I just can't watch those kind of shows. I'm just whatever. Anyway, enough about that. Okay, so that's my babbling on thing about this paganism on the rise. And my ministry is the RPG culture. My tiny little ministry. Anyway, in the game of life, remember to roll holy dice.